Welcome to the Song of the Screen Squad. Like always, I'm Vinny.
I'm Ozzy.
Yeah, I know.
And this week we're talking about 1994's Airheads. Stick around. The movie that gave us Brendan Fraser again after Encino Man.
I will not be censored. Sorry.
Gave us Adam Sandler and 65-year-old Steve Buscemi as a hard rocker. He must have been like in his 50s already at this point, right? Because he looked...
His face can cut glass. I know, it's true. It's,
This movie was... this 1994 comedy. I mean, it's not bad. It's not a bad movie. It's a dumb movie, but it's not it's not your typical Adam Sandler movie, and it wasn't made during the time where they had like he was making the grown up movies, but it was kind of
Is it? It's not his movie though.
no. I mean, it's not. There was no Happy Madison Productions at the
Yeah,
time, right? But
Yeah. this still during the
you get
Billy Madison years.
but you get your Adam Sandler. Like his back in the young like Billy Madison type of stuff that he was doing.
He looked in
Happy
good
Gilmore.
shape too. He looked like he was in good shape too.
Yeah. He was young.
No, like
1994.
yeah,
he was young.
Young,
1994.
he
wasn't.
looked like he can rock the sleeveless.
He wasn't rich, and he wasn't being able to eat all the food that he wants. Now he's like, Now he's rich and he has kids, and he's like, I don't need to look like that anymore.
I was in shape when I was young.
It's not the 90s, right?
What movie did he do that he got into like actual shape? Can't remember. It was Longest Yard.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
Use a baby back, bitch.
Not Spanglish.
No, definitely not Spanglish. Definitely not Spanglish.
Bro, I can go for one of those sandwiches though from Spanglish.
Why are you always hungry?
He makes that sandwich and puts the egg on it. Ooh.
Okay, well, so
Bro, that's sexy.
so in 94 we got this movie about the Lone Rangers.
I work at
How do you
N95.
pluralize Lone Ranger? Right, that's kind of the joke in the movie.
Yeah, they're poorly named band.
Right, poorly named, but it's all they're trying to do is they're trying to get a record deal. They're trying to get a record deal. So
Aren't we all?
right? So
I mean,
you have Chaz,
who wants
Rex,
fame?
you have Chaz, Rex, and Pip, right? The Lone Rangers, and when they keep getting denied, they overtake a radio station, right? They take a radio station as hostage until they can get a record deal, right?
And
They just-
while they do that, they find out that they're gonna sell the station and turn into a
It's a-
jazz station.
Yep.
Hey, jazz is good.
So some of the cool
It's
things
fine.
is like this feels very, very much like a Die Hard, and they use Nakatomi Plaza in this movie, right?
Hey, there's a connection.
Right? They use that. This is not. I mean, it's not a great movie, and it's not a bad movie, but this is where you get Brendan Fraser right after he did Encino Man, years before
George of the Jungle.
before George of the
Oh, well
Jungle,
before George, yeah.
well before George of the Jungle, before Dudley Do Right, right before those movies that he was making.
That
But
hair,
it was around. It was after School Ties, I believe. It was after
School Ties is a phenomenal movie.
It was after School Ties, years before The Whale, right? But way before The Whale. Now
What?
you go back and you look at this movie, and you're like, he's nominated. He's nominated for an Oscar,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
But isn't it crazy though that it was you have School Ties and then he went and started doing all these other movies that had nothing, weren't anything compared to School Ties.
No,
He did
everyone
McConnors, right?
every once in a while he would throw in a drama, right? He did like
Yeah, but
where he'd have to actually act, but then he would go back and he would do George of the Jungle. He would do Dudley Do Right. He would do
Blast from the Past.
Blast from the Past. That's a good movie. Shut your mouth.
Oh yeah,
That's a
I
good
love
movie.
Blast from the Past.
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, but so
The Mummy.
yeah, you have the Mummies, right? The Mummies, all the Mummy movies. But but this movie,
the two mummies are worth watching.
But this is-
and then the one with Jet Li.
but this is yeah. But this is those movies. This is those like kind of like the Saturday Night Live movies that they made at the time, like all of them. That where it was like just throw cameos in here because you get Chris
produced by
Farley.
Lorne Michael.
Yeah, you get Chris Farley, you get Ernie Hudson, you pretty much get some of the Ghostbusters. You get some of Spinal Tap. You get Michael Richards, right?
Infamous.
And yeah, the infamous, and you get Joe Montana.
Hey, now we're talking.
Joe Montana.
Mhm.
Joe Montana, right?
Michael McKean.
Yeah,
Michael McKean. I'm just saying.
right. Spinal Tap.
Yeah,
So you get
he was a cast member at some point. Yeah.
yeah, you get all these
Is
cameos
he the
in
one
this
that's
movie.
married to? Never mind.
Steve Buscemi.
Probably.
Steve Buscemi. No, but the only one. I mean, the movie, the music is another thing in this movie that is, in my opinion, I think I like the music in this movie, right? But
It's
then
your era.
it is my era, right? And it's the hard rock heavy metal, right? But it's not super heavy metal. It's like still rock, and it's good. I enjoy the music in this movie. The movie is by no means a gem or a diamond in the rough, right? It's dumb, but it's a fun dumb, right? It's a fun dumb movie, right? And to think that this movie originally wasn't gonna have Brendan Fraser, they didn't want Brendan Fraser until Adam Sandler threatened to leave, like he threatened to walk off the movie or like quit
That's
the
a
movie.
sign.
He already had pull back then.
I guess the movie was made to have him in it, right? And he said that if he didn't get Brendan Fraser, he was gonna quit the movie.
And that's the story that Adam Sandler's been saying lately. So
Well, yeah. So so they ended up getting him, and since then they've been friends, right?
Yeah.
And then even Steve Buscemi. Steve Buscemi is in a lot of other Adam Sandler movies, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
He's in a lot of Adam Sandler. So
Former firefighter.
in a lot of Adam Sandler movies, right? But it's a okay movie. It has its moments, right? You don't get the full Adam Sandler like in all the other movies he did after like during this time, like Billy Madison, or you don't get because it's not all his movie. It's you have to split. He has to split the things. He has to split the story between all the other characters. But it's
All knows Buscemi in this movie, greatest guitar player in the world,
bass player,
self-taught,
bass player.
self-taught
He's
though,
he's a bass player.
self-taught.
Yeah, he's a bass player. But the you know you have we have White Zombie, which I really I'll
Yes,
always be a
yes,
fan of
we
Rob
know.
Zombie's music, right? I'm always a fan of it, and so you get this band, right? They of course, I mean they go to jail at the end. Spoilers, right? There's no coming back from holding people hostage, even if it's with toy guns, right? But because they become infamous because of this, they end up getting their record contract, right? And this is just that's kind of the joke. Like, oh, don't worry, celebrities don't really do jail time, and they get
Yeah.
6 months. They get 6 months of jail, 3 if they're on good behavior. And they record a record at the end of the movie. They record a record live in prison.
And what the girlfriend that he has is the same girl from Crybaby.
Is she come from Crybaby? She's also in School Ties.
That's right.
She's also in School Ties.
Divine?
Yeah, Divine, Divine. Yeah,
Hatchet your face.
but overall, like you get you get. I mean, Steve
Well, I have
Buscemi's
a
decent.
job.
Steve
Wow.
Buscemi's decent. He's good. He's decent in this movie, right? There's good comedy. There's good
Buscemi's
jokes.
good in everything.
There's
though.
good in
I
it.
like Buscemi.
There's good.
Yeah,
There's good.
I don't know a Buscemi movie I don't like him.
And this is kind of not your like I said, this is not like your Adam Sandler being Adam Sandler at that time, where he was going all the time, doing that stuff that he did.
He does his yelling though.
Yeah, well, he does.
What do you do? What do you do?
Yeah,
You do that.
Yeah, he doesn't do all of that stuff like that. And then Brendan Fraser carries is really technically he's carrying majority of the movie because it's on his shoulders. And like I said, it's an okay movie. It's not the greatest, but if you go back and watch it,
It's the equivalent to, it's Adam Sandler's Red Heat. Think about it. Because you get the Adam Sandler in there, but not where like the Adam Sandler where like it's all the little silliness that comes with it.
and then
but
it's
you know
it's
what
really the
you're
cameos.
expecting. But you know what you're expecting because it's the same '90s formula,
Yeah, as all of like
the same '90s humor.
Mm-hmm. Like Wayne's
You know what you're gonna
World,
get.
like Wayne's
Yeah,
World, like
you
Billy
know what you're
Madison.
gonna
It's all the Saturday Night Live movies, and they're all the same. Like any movie that
Yeah.
was produced by Lauren Michaels in the '90s, even from the Coneheads to Wayne's World to all of these, they all look the same, and they all have the same feel, the same types of jokes.
I don't like Coneheads.
No one does. No one does. right?
Well, it's Saturday Night Live.
Even
There's
Dan
a lot of
Aykroyd
stuff
doesn't
that
like it.
there's a lot of stuff that they've released that's not good.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, like Night at the Roxbury.
Mm-hmm. Superstar.
Yes. Wow.
My mom likes that movie.
Yeah. Mom likes the movie, so.
Yeah,
But
she likes a lot of stuff.
yeah, that's true. But yeah, I mean, this movie really, you go watch it, and it's interchangeable with a lot of the Saturday Night Live movies of the time, right?
Ladies Man.
Yeah.
But this does have a good soundtrack. So like just like all the other ones, they know how to pick music for these movies. But overall, it's like,
Well, they had access to all these bands through Saturday Night Live and Lorne Michaels as hookups. They gave a lot of bands, like for a platform.
Ashley
And-
Simpson.
yeah.
God damn you! I hate you. I hate you so much.
But overall, I think if you haven't seen Airheads, and if you want,
I've been lip syncing this whole thing right now.
if you, this is all predetermined.
I'm just really good at it.
And you did a jig. But overall, very topical joke.
Well, it goes with this movie.
Well, that was in the 2000s. This movie was in the 90s.
Oh,
Yeah, and he brought up Ashley Simpson. That's what I'm saying.
Ashford Simpson. But no, if you haven't seen,
He brought up Ashley Madison.
If you haven't seen Airheads, you haven't seen Coneheads, you haven't seen all these movies. I mean, you don't have to, but it's like what it's.
You're not gonna hate yourself. For
Yeah,
watching it.
some of these some people might like this movie, right? Some people might. I mean, definitely no one's gonna
Watch
like
The Animal.
Coneheads. With Rob Schneider, that's a better movie.
Yeah.
No, okay, we're gonna watch a Rob Schneider movie. You watch the first Despicable.
That's it. And on that note, guys. On that note, guys. Airheads. Find it where you can watch it because it's not anywhere streaming.
Yeah.
So maybe
Good
it'll
luck.
be on TV one day.
luck.
On that note, this has been Vinny.
This is Ozzy. Hey, David Arquette's in this movie.
We'll see you guys. We'll see you guys next week.